guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jolie and I am a full-time working mom of 3. Today on my lunch break, we are doing all the extras. Maybe we won't do them all today. I started a couple of projects the past few days actually, but I'm gonna take you along. These are the extra things that I do because I'm kind of an extra person. So these are the extra things that I do to set us up for success for back to school. Number 1, I always email the teacher. I've tried talking to them at like the back to school like events and things like that, but they tend to be really busy. And so this year I made them an email. And I just introduced myself. I said, hey, my son's gonna be in your class. Number 1 thing that I put in that message was, what can I help with, right? What can I take off your plate? What is something you need for the classroom? Is it a new game? Is it, you need candies for treats, or, what is it? What can I do? What can I contribute money towards? And this year, the teacher actually said there was nothing right now on her wish list. She's been a teacher for several years. Last year, they needed some Hot Wheels cars for their classroom. So we gladly went out and selected like 20 Hot Wheels cars and supplied those. But this year, she said there's nothing. So I made sure to follow it up with an email that says, hey, like at any point in the year, let me know. Let me know what I can do, how I can make your life easier. Okay, so for our flower arrangements, it's like a pencil canister that I got from the Target dollar spot a couple of years ago. I think they were like $3 or $5. Actually, I think the first one was $5, and then after school started, I went back and they had a couple more, and I loved the way that our bouquet turned out so much that I picked up a couple more on like 50% off. So I think this one was like $2.50. And I have a couple more for subsequent teachers downstairs because I just thought they were so cute. Secondly, I'm going to put a little flag in it. I just got this little print off Google and I put it onto a Word document and arranged it how I wanted. And then I cut it out and I glued it. I did buy some ribbons. Now I'm a gift giver. I like to give gifts. So I use these ribbons all year long. And actually the last back to school ribbons I bought 2 years ago. So I was able to use them for however many teachers for 2 years. And that's counting like all of the like PE teacher, music teacher, that type of thing too. So there's other teachers that are getting gifts from these ribbons for the course of 2 years. And so I went back to Hobby Lobby and I picked up some that I thought just coordinated well. I love this one. It's so cute. But pen crayons are always a classic. We got some blue. We got some of this like fun red. And for 4 of these, it was like $6 for my total. So I'm just going to take these and kind of tie them on here. So there's our little flag. The method that actually works the best, I just kind of messed with it until I liked it, but I put them all on one string and then I tied that one string to the flag. And I think that turned out the cutest. So that's our little flag for it. Now, my lady who does this, she'll do it upright. I don't know. But I mean, or you could do this with like a $4 bouquet of flowers from Walmart, honestly. She'll do this really well for me. Sorry if you can hear my washer in the back. I told you I'm on my lunch break, so I am just getting things done over here. That one is wilty. But just kind of so you guys can see the vision. Okay, So it's cute, it's simple, just a little something for him to take on the first day to be like, hey, happy first day, we appreciate you. I think that that's kind of number one in all of this, like asking the teacher what I can do to help, that type of thing. Like I want my kids to know that they should appreciate their teachers, they should respect their teachers have reasons for doing things the way they do them. And I think that giving a tiny gift to them is a great way to show that. I also think that them, writing them notes or sharing different things that they appreciate about them, that type of thing, I think that that's a really good thing to teach kids. Like I said in my previous video, I grew up with a mom who worked at the school, so for every holiday, I remember taking teachers' gifts. It might be a mug filled with candy, but I remember it being very important that we appreciate our teachers and that we respect our teachers. And, I think that that's something that was really instilled in me in a really young age because I got to stay at the school a little longer and see how hard all the school personnel actually works. It's not just playing with kids all day. So, little back to school appreciation gift is number one. And then for our support personnel, like our librarian, PE teacher, those types of things, right? We ordered cake pops for them this year, and I'll see if I can put a picture. They're the cutest little cake pops that she came out with for a back to school special, someone local in our area. So I got those for the teachers for their first day, as well as for my kids for their little after school snack, and maybe a couple extra for some cousins too, just to have as a special treat for back to school first day vibes. Next up, I wanted to bring you down the kids' bedroom hallway and share with you our charts. So these I put up just before the school year last year, and I also put them up just before the school year this year so they can kind of get used to them. They have a spot for morning, for after school, and for bedtime. They just say like all the basic things, but it helps them stay on track. Now, you guys, my kids have never made their bed. I put make your bed on this chart, and they're pros at making their bed after a week. So they can make their bed, eat breakfast, brush teeth, get dressed, brush their hair, all within like 20 minutes because it's written down. They know when I say, hey, do your morning jobs, they know exactly what to do. So do not underestimate the challenge of a list. And this saves me from saying a million times, did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? So the only thing I have to say is line up at the door and they go get their shoes on. That's all I have to say in the morning. Other than that, I get to give kisses and cuddles and ask them if they need more milk. Like that's all I have to do in the morning while I get myself ready. So highly recommend doing a chart of some sort. After school, we have snack, put lunchbox by sink, homework, and hang up backpack. We always hang our backpack so that way we know where it is the next day. Bedtime, clean up toys, bedtime snack, take a bath, brush teeth, pick out clothes or put on pajamas, and read. My kids don't do a bath every night, but they know when they need to. So highly recommend doing a little chart. I think you'll kind of be blown away by what your kids pick up off of that. My husband, he was traveling for work when I brought this out, and this morning he actually was like, he heard, I go, Eloise, last thing you gotta do, and she's like, brush my teeth and make my bed. And my husband was like, you have them making their bed? And I'm like, seriously, go check it out. It's amazing. I never taught them to make their bed. I just put it on the chart and they figured it out. Otherwise, we have stuffed animals and blankets all over the floor, because I swear my kids roll around all sorts of goofy ways when they sleep. So highly recommend a chart. Another great thing to practice is the alarm clock. My kids generally wake up at the same time every single day, but we did get a later and later wake up time somehow this summer. So on days when we have to get out of the house and go to daycare because everybody has to work, we use our alarm clock, and this is in the room. This is from Target. It has these really cool lights that they like at night, and then I put a sticker on the button that they need to push to turn it off when it starts going off. So they know to come over here. This means it's time to get up, or they know that after 7, they can get out of their bed. We don't do early mornings around here. 7:30 is kind of like my ideal time for my kids to wake up because we don't live too far away from our school. We don't have a ton of traffic. So 7:30 is kind of my ideal time. So that's what time this will be set for during the school year. Next thing, if you are in the Midwest, like I am, then a good fall jacket is what you need. It can be really chilly in the morning, and then by afternoon, they're in short sleeves, right? So a good waterproof fall jacket with a hood is what we aim for. You can get these just about anywhere. I have great luck getting these off of like Facebook Marketplace, very gently used, or at a garage sale for like $3 a piece. This one I think was a hand-me-down from my sister, and this one I think I paid like under $5 for. So highly recommend searching places like that. But these are just great to have in the morning, or even just put in your backpack. Okay, so I just went through our shoe bin. There's some shoes that my kids, they don't wear, they don't like the way they feel, whatever. And I find that when we need to get going in the mornings, less is more. So one jacket, one bag. If I could do it, one thing of shoes, but I did separate out my shoes. My kids, they have shoes on right now. So their normal daily wear shoes are on their feet right now. So you won't see those in there, but this is our drop zone. We have our fall jackets and we have our backpacks. So this is where the backpack sleeps every single night. So if I need to find something, I know exactly where to find it, and then in the morning, he can easily find it. We also have these bins over here. I love these. I implemented these 3 years ago, and they hold our hats and our mittens, and each kid gets a bin, and it works out really well for us. And this is where we keep our shoes. So for right now, I have dress shoes over here that we need for like school concerts and church. This is like daily wear shoes in the middle, which my son only has one pair of sandals in there. He doesn't really like them, but occasionally with a certain outfit, I will encourage him to wear them. And then my daughter has her tennis shoes in here, as well as her pair of sandals. My kids basically live in the natives water shoes, natives water shoes, I think is what they're called. And this is their second or third summer doing so. So from here on out, that's all I'm buying them in the summer because they're good for playing on the softball field when dad is out there, and they don't have to take off their sandals a million times because they get egg line or whatever in there. So they work well for us. And then over here, I have my shoes and my husband's shoes, which we each have a couple pairs of shoes in there. But I keep it as simple as possible because more options does not get me out the door faster. It just doesn't. Okay, now I brought you out to my deck to share with you. I water and stain proof the kids' shoes and any white shoes my husband wears at the hospital. This was kind of an upsale thing when we bought his shoes last year at the shoe place, but it worked pretty well. And so basically I just bring them outside, I spray them all down, and then I let them sit and dry, and then I spray them down again. So that is what we're gonna be doing, at least for the cloth ones. These other ones, they're like more plasticky. I don't really think I need to do those. I might, I'll give them a little spray because there are some cloth parts on there. But this stuff works pretty well. It takes like 2 seconds to actually do it, and then you just have to let it sit out and dry. Okay, a couple more minutes left on my break here. Gotta have some coffee. Afternoon coffees, yay or nay? Do you do afternoon coffees? Up next, I want to talk. Obviously, I'm filming this before the first day. I usually keep a few different colors of plates on hand. And I printed out these placemats. Basically, they look like the old style composition notebooks, right? And I do a red plate with some green construction paper to make it look like an apple. And I have those on the table for breakfast. And then last year, I'll insert a picture because obviously I'm filming this before the first day of school. So I have to kind of share with you my plan. But last year I did pencil shaped waffles and those were a big hit. And then I think just some fruit. And so we will do that again this year. Instead of fruit, we might do like a strawberry banana smoothie because my kids have really been loving that. Or I will turn that smoothie into a popsicle and then my kids get to have popsicles for breakfast, which they think is amazing. I think that's such a fun summer memory. So I'll probably do that for the first day of school this year. Now, something else we fill out is this first day of school board. And it just asks all the normal questions, the age. This one says book, but last year we crossed out and we put team because my son couldn't read yet, so he didn't really have a favorite book. But he's really into sports. Color, food, where you went to school, who your teacher is, that type of thing. Super simple. He is past being willing to take pictures with this for his first day of school, but I fill it out, I put it on the table, and I take a picture of it. And then this I got last year, and it is first and last days of school book. And I had one of these when I was a kid, and I think it's fun to look back at for each year. But basically, it asks, similar questions to the board. It has pockets for keepsakes. So like we have his class, composite in there, any awards he's gotten. It asks some more in-depth questions, right? If I had $100, what would I do? All right, that type of thing. So it's kind of fun to see. It asks his height and his weight, that type of thing, so you can see how much he's grown. So we will fill this out around the first day of school, not on the first day of school, because I think there's just a lot of things that happen around the first day of school, and it gets kind of annoying if I'm constantly asking you questions to do these type of things, which someday he'll be at that point, but right now he's just not. So I have this book, and I bought one for each of the kids, and I'll link it down below. This is Denise Albright's studio, and I think it's just going to be such a blessing when my kids are older to be able to look back at this. It also, what I love is it has him write his name each year. So going from junior kindergarten to the end of kindergarten to first grade, like the difference is astounding in him writing his name. So that's really cool. So I love that a lot. Another classic first day of school thing is picking out your first day of school outfits. I know some people do fancy here. I say pick your favorite shirts. The past couple of years I've asked him like, hey, do you want to go shopping for something new, or is there something in your closet you really want to wear? The past couple of years it has been a football jersey. This year he, much to my surprise, he said, hey, I want to pick something new. So we went to Marshall's and he picked a cute little Nike set that was only $17 for sweatpants and a shirt. Honestly, great deal. And if you have a little boy who's in kindergarten or first grade, you know how fast they wear out the knees in their pants. So I could not say no to a new pair of Nike sweatpants. Anyway, so we picked that set out. It's like this white shirt with a Nike logo on it. And then he went out with his dad to practice shooting the BB gun, and he laid on the dirt to get his aim right. And so it is in the washer being washed, but I will insert a picture of it from before we got to dirt all over it. He was very excited. He had to wear it right away. I appreciate it, but white. And the very last thing, I think the very last thing that I'm doing for back to school is setting up a homework station. So do we have pens? Do we have pencils? Not pens. Don't do pens. Do we have pencils? Do we have markers? Do we have crayons? Do we have the stuff he needs to complete his homework at home? So we have kind of an arts and crafts station that my kids are very into crafts, so they utilize it all the time. But I want to make sure it's organized, that way when he comes home with an assignment and he needs a specific colored crayon, he can easily find it, and it's not super frustrating because I do have 2 other kids and a full-time job that I am trying to accomplish all the things for. And usually after I pick him up from school, I am still working, right? So I'll work at the island over there while he does his homework or while he eats a snack and while he plays. So him being able to kind of help himself to some of that stuff is really imperative in setting myself up for success as a full-time working mom. So we're gonna get that in order. It's a mess right now. Just don't judge me too harshly on this. I know it's a mess, but we're gonna make it better. Hey guys, so I was just sitting at a softball tournament this weekend editing this video. I'm in the car right now while the baby is napping. And I realized I never actually did get to adding more pencils and markers and crayons and such to our homework station, craft station, that type of thing. But we'll get to it eventually. It just is not going to happen in this video. So definitely be sure to stick around for my next video. Can't get it all done sometimes. You just can't. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll stick around for the next one. See ya.